My understanding is that you are primarily or maybe entirely an indie author. Is that true?
I'm a hybrid author. I'm mostly indie.
Okay.
Only recently, and I'm sure we'll get into this for the reasons why, but I've only recently started. I have a 3 book deal with Falstaff Books,
Okay.
which has like I said, we'll get into the why I did it, and you'll understand. But other than that, primarily at this point, indie.
Okay. Um, when did you publish your first book?
I think it's been about 7 years, 7 or 8 years now. It
Hmm.
was pretty much about a year. The the whole the Kindle came out, and the idea of self publishing immediately became financially viable.
Hmm.
And it took me about a year from when I heard it, which was somewhere in that first year. It took me about a year to wrap my head around that being a self published is no longer a bad thing.
Hmm.
And then I tried it and never looked back.
Ah, okay. Do you know roughly how many books you have available?
Over 40.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Are they all available in Kindle format?
Yep.
Okay.
Kindle, and almost everything is in print and audiobook as well.
Oh, okay. I hadn't even thought about that. I've been hearing lately that audiobooks are a big deal. The profits are pretty
Very
good.
much. And it's a big part of it's after Kindle, it's this most it's the where I get most of my money.
Okay. Is it because audiobooks cost more or the sales are, really good?
Both.
Both? Really?
Both in it's audiobooks have been having a boom in the last bunch of years.
Mm-hmm.
More and more people listening as they go to work. They're tired of hearing the same songs over and over on the radio and that kind of thing.
Mm.
They don't have people feel like they don't have time to read, so this is a way they can listen and get still, you know, be involved with books and that kind of thing. So
Mm.
it's just become more and more popular,
Mm-hmm.
which is part of it. And yeah, the margins are fantastic,
Mm. Mm-hmm.
um,
Um,
and make advertising
mhm.
a lot more viable for a lot of reasons.
Okay. A typical audiobook goes for roughly what?
It depends on the length of the audiobook that you. So unlike like with a Kindle book, I put something up on Kindle and I just decide this is how much we're selling it for.
Mm-hmm.
With audiobooks, you don't get to decide. The Audible is like Amazon, and Audible is owned by Amazon, and Audible is the largest seller of audiobooks,
Mm-hmm.
and they decide. They have I'm not quite sure what the cutoffs are, but if it's between, I don't know, 30 minutes an hour or two or whatever, it gets a certain price
Mm-hmm.
and different levels, so forth. So mine tend to run anywhere from about
Let me jump back to the audiobooks. Who does the production? You read your own and produce the entire thing
So for
yourself?
me,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is just like anything in the indie world. If you can do it yourself at a professional level, then great. Save yourself the money and do it. Otherwise, hire out. Um, you know this, Stephen, but many of your listeners don't, which is that I spent 6 years doing a podcast. And so I had all the audio equipment and I knew how to edit and how to do all of that. I also have an undergraduate degree in theater, and I've been done that for many years. So I'm very comfortable using my voice. And so I figured, well, when I was just trying out to see if the audiobook thing was even going to be, a worthwhile endeavor, I thought, you know what, I'll just do it. I'm not going to pay for it because it's very expensive to
Oh
pay
yeah,
for it.
yeah.
So I'll just do it myself. And so I did. I really enjoyed doing it. And people really like, my audiobook. So I've had plenty of readers who say, oh, I saw that it said it was narrated by the author, and usually that's a red flag, but I tried it anyway, and I'm really glad I did. I love your voice and blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
So I do most of my own. There's one of my standalones called Real Magic, which I wrote with a guy named Cameron Francis. And he's a guy who I happen to have gone to college with and in theater, and he's a professional actor. So he saved me the effort and just did it himself. And I've actually hired him again to do a different standalone because I just don't want to put in the time and effort to do it. And he's trying to build up his audiobook career, especially because with COVID, the film and television industry kind of took a nosedive as far as hiring practices and all that. So I'm letting him do it. It does save me the time and effort, but then it still costs a lot of money, even at a friend rate that I'm getting from him. So most of it I do myself.
I wanted to ask, at a guess, what is the ratio of sales Kindle versus physical books? Just for you personally.
So I don't have a specific number of ratio, but it's basically, here, how would I figure that out? Probably 30-1.
Wow.
For every 30 ebooks, I might get 1 or 2 print books.
That sounds about
right.
I
sell about a print book a day online.
Okay.
So print is never the main way I sell. That's actually quite good right now. It used to be I'd sell like 1 or 2 a month. The main way I sell print books, I do well up until recently, was at conventions, hand selling them, and I would sell. In a given year, I could sell hundreds and hundreds of those that way. But of course, with COVID, there are no conventions.
Yeah.